What's good, everyone? Alijah Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. With me is always my buddy, my cousin, my pal, the man with a plan, the guy who's got to be hyped for tomorrow. Man, I don't know how you can't be excited for tomorrow. Not the fact that we found a quarterback, not the fact that there's a quarterback controversy. We won a game, and now it's just intriguing.
We what? We won a game?
I know, it's shocking. It's not the fact that we won a game. It's now that we're intrigued to see if can Mike White replicate his past.
Mike who?
Mike White. Want to be like Mike. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So what up? My man John Meleka with me. Always, as always, fellow Jets fan, fellow Knicks fan, fellow Yankees fan. You know what it is. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? I am hyped for Mike White. I am on the Mike White train. The Hall of Famer. Mike White.
Who was the last Jets QB besides Namath to get in? Was it Mike White now?
Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, the game ball from week 8 was, and Mike White jersey with his gear was inducted into Canton this past weekend as Mike White completed 37 passes, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 37 completions are the first ever by a QB in his first start. He also became the second quarterback since 1950 to throw 400 plus yards in his debut. I mean, absolute beast. It's just at this point, it's a fun joke, and to have this finally happen for the Jets. That, I mean, I can't remember the last time I wasn't rooting for the backup quarterback. I mean, I know they say that the best job in the world, especially football, is the backup quarterback. But as Jets fans, I mean, we've been clamoring for the backup quarterbacks forever. And the one time we're not, if he comes through and breaks every record, it's just funny. It's ironic. I'm excited for this Jets Colts game. I think that there's a lot of hype for the Jets. There's a lot of hype in their locker room. They now feel like they can do it, which is huge, especially going up against Carson Wentz in prime time, as our video producer Greg likes to point out all the time. Shout out Winning Picks Weekly. Like, subscribe to our YouTube podcast, Apple, Spotify. Anyway, the Jets, they feel like they can do it, and that's kudos to the coaching staff. You know, kudos to LaFleur finally going up to the booth. They hired John Beck, a QB assistant. I mean, for what it's worth, Joe Flacco is now in that room watching tape with them at least. So they have that backup there. So it's not like gloom and doom. Like Mike White went down for a possession. Josh Johnson was there. So now at least they have Flacco. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. Short week. Nobody practices on a short week. I feel like they think they can do it. You know what I mean? There's no room for them to mess up. The last thing they saw, the last thing they felt was all the hype that we are enduring at the moment, man. So I know it was a elongated, start to the show here, but I am just so excited for this Jets game because we are playing with house money. We are playing with absolute house money, and the Colts are desperate. And it's just a fun place to be in.
Definitely is a fun place to be in. It's a very nice place to be in because we still don't have expectations for this team, right? Like, there's nothing that's going to change the course of the season saying that we're a playoff team. There's nothing that's going to change the course of this team to really, I don't know. I think it might just be the playoffs, man. Like, what the success is just seeing us being competitive, seeing growth from our rookies and from our coaching staff, right? It's all what this season is at this point. So going into this game, we discussed this on the rapid reaction. The Colts have more to lose than we have to lose. Okay. We're
100%.
Last week, backs were against the wall because Michael LaFleur's job was on the line.
Yeah, for sure.
No adjustments, that everyone was complaining about. Zach Wilson's looking terrible. We 72% on first downs, running the ball, split on second downs, 72% passing on third. We know it was just, we know the routine.
Predictability.
We know the routine, predictability, changes. You get Mike White, pass out the gate. Just totally different and aggressive. Like, even though it was mostly
11 for 11, bro.
Even though it was mostly dink and dunks, check downs, whatever you want to call it, it was aggressive in the sense that he was passing out of the gate and trying to keep that Cincinnati defense on their toes, right? And Mike White worked that game plan by spreading the ball around. Now it comes to the Indianapolis Colts. We don't have our backs against the wall. We don't,
Reality?
Reality. Nah, I don't think it's reality. I just think our backs are still quasi against the wall. I still believe that, even though after the rapid reaction, I know I said that. And the reason is just because you have one good performance, that doesn't mean you're out of the woods. You now have to show that you're competitive, right? Because we had the Titans win, a lot of improv out of Zach Wilson. Now you see this game, Mike White works within the scheme of the offense of what LaFleur was planning. Can you stay competitive offensively? Can you keep moving the ball? Can you get these guys, whether it's Michael Carter in open space to get him really going? You know, are we going to see more development from our offensive line being able to make the holes and create that pocket? Are we going to see more, completions and just moving the ball through the air with Mike White? That's what we want to see at this point. I don't know what's going to happen for this game. We now know the Colts have game and a half on Mike White. So it's not going to be as easy as sometimes where you come in as a backup and you don't know what's coming. We'll see, can he adjust too? But I know it's fun to think about quarterback controversy. I know it's fun to think about all this stuff. I know it's fun to make the connections of like, second string quarterback comes in off our first quarterback injury. Is this like a replica of Tom Brady? I know it's fun like that. And especially we were in that hype just because we had an exciting game and a true team effort. But for this week,
Mike White won AFC Player of the Week. He won almost every single award there was to win this week. We're not being ridiculous. I mean, he literally had the best week of football.
No, we're not being Facts are facts. He had the best week of football. But I think fans are out there now wondering if he's going to be the next quarterback. Is he really the savior?
I just want him to save the Jets tonight. Can he save the Jets tonight?
Yeah. When we're recording the night before, but when this drops, it'll be tomorrow, game day, Thursday, and we want him to help the Jets tonight. Like, I just want to see wins, man. Like, I know we're not going anywhere. We're not winning a Super Bowl this year. Very unlikely we go to the playoffs, but I just want to see competitive football and I want to get wins, man. Like, I don't want to be last season where we're just getting 2 wins at the end of the season and it's all for naught. I want to see wins. Like, even if they're inconsistent throughout the season, I want to see competitive football and I want to see wins just to make me feel good that this team is moving in the right direction. That's what I want.
Yeah. So you keep mentioning playoffs at the end there, and here we are. Okay. The Colts are 3-5. They're sitting behind, the Titans, who just had a catastrophic injury to King Henry, out for the season potentially. I mean, at least, most of the season. So they're staring at the playoffs and they're looking at the lowly Jets coming to town off an overtime loss. I mean, this is a game that they have to win. And they're relatively healthy, right? Minus TY. But they're their safety who went out a couple weeks ago, but they're relatively good. The Jets, you see what they look like when they're actually healthy, right? When we actually have linebackers, Gerard Davis and Mosley finally played together, and you see it. You see how well we played. I'm definitely nervous about Pittman kind of getting behind Ashton Davis a couple times this game, like maybe get into the secondary. I'm definitely nervous about Jonathan Taylor, but we have CJ and Gerard Davis. I'm actually really comfortable with the defense, right? Huff is out this week for us. That's not great. But I don't know, like Carson Wentz.
He hasn't been playing that well. Like he's got a nice QB. He's got a nice rating, but he hasn't really done anything to really wow you over. There's been a couple of games where he's made some head scratching decisions. Sure, the numbers look good. 14 TDs, 3 interceptions, 96.3 rating. He's got close to 2,000 yards passing right now. It all looks nice, right? 62% completion. All looks nice. But if you've been watching the Colts, it hasn't been all good because they're 3-5. So, what's happening? I think most of it's on Carson Wentz and his decision-making. during the games, even though for the most part he's passing the ball well. So this is not a team that necessarily is scary to defeat, but they definitely do have weapons that, will make this a competitive game. They do have the capability of beating us. They're supposed to be the better team. You talk about Jonathan Taylor, you got Nyheim Hines, you got Marlon Mack back there, you got Michael Pittman, as you're talking about, you got all these weapons on that team, and anything can happen, obviously, any given Sunday for sure, as the saying goes. But this is not a team to take lightly. It's not like we're not talking about like the Jaguars over here, who I think that would be more of like in our realm than necessarily the Colts. I think the Colts are not slight. They're a step above us. It's not a slight step. They're a step above us. What they should be because of the talent.
Well, listen, man, I know you're spitting out numbers, but Carson Wentz is bottom of the league in completion percentage. And so he doesn't really, he plays like he's supposed to be this game manager, but he's not. He's been sacked 16 times this year. Same as Daniel Jones, right? We talk about how bad Daniel Jones is, and we talk about how bad Pat Mahomes is and how much they've been sacked and how bad their offensive line was. That's how much they both been sacked. I don't know. I'm just really not impressed by the Indianapolis Colts this year as much as I like their defense, right? Like Darius Leonard, he's not going to let us run. They have Kwity Paye there. He's not going to let us run. So that's why I'm not going to listen, man. The old LaFleur philosophy of run, and then let's just see what happens on third down with a pass. That would get absolutely wrecked by this Colts team. But apparently everything's changed in the last week. He moved. We have a new QB coach. We have a new quarterback. Everything's different, right? So just based off last week, this is the perfect game plan to beat the Colts, right? So we went from minus 14 against the spread to minus 10.5 against the spread. So that means that Mike White moved the line 3.5 points. That's reckless. Like that's unheard of, right? Like from Zach Wilson to Mike White. That makes me think that no one really knows what's going to happen this game. And I don't want to sit here and act like we know what's going to happen this game because we don't. I mean, I'm hoping it's a replay of last week, but I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit more towards the median. It's going to average itself out a little bit. Let's not forget, he still threw a couple picks. Right after all those completions last week, Mike White almost threw a pick six. He almost threw 3 pick sixes last week, going back to the tape. I mean, Ty Johnson had some unbelievable plays, and so did Michael Carter. Michael Carter also had some boneheaded plays, right, where he maybe didn't look fast enough. Maybe, they just don't have enough practice, but they didn't practice this week either. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping that the momentum stays, and that's really all I have on like the overall arching, question. How do I think this game's going to go? I think the Jets are going to cover 10.5 because first of all, Carson Wentz stinks. I don't think that, especially in prime time, I don't think the Colts have been that impressive this year. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Colts, right? Even if they go ahead, even if they're up that haunted 17-0, which I literally cannot get out of my head from this year. I don't think they can hold that lead, even though they have Jonathan Taylor, even though they have Nyheim Hines. You know what I mean? I don't think that's how this game's going to play out at all. But I'm just saying. You know what I mean? They don't have that authority this year on the football field. So I think it's going to be a close game, man. I see boneheaded plays by Carson Wentz. I see rookie plays by Mike White, some conservative stuff because LaFleur and Mike Saleh are on national TV and they don't want to get embarrassed, right? Mm-hmm. They pulled out the trick bag last week, bro. Like they did the Philly. They pulled out some weird formations. They did some wacky stuff. Tyler Kroft getting in the game in the end zone. You know what I mean? Like they're doing wacky stuff. I mean, that's how I overall see. I see the Jets covering this 10.5. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 4 to 7 point game, maybe field goal, but I think it's going to be a little more than that. I think someone's going to have to drive down for a touchdown at the end. That's how I overall see it. What about you, man?
I don't know. Like the thing, let me get back to like the numbers. So that I was discussing. My numbers is not to say that Carson Wentz is like on fire. My numbers are just to say that this is just a good enough team. They have talent on this team, and they should be the favorites still, right? They're 3-5. The record doesn't indicate that they're like a good talented team, but they still have talent on this team and they can still go out there and win. That's all I'm saying with the numbers. Not saying that Carson Wentz has been killing the league or anything like that, but we as a team, we're still young. While this team, they have veterans, they have talent. Those two things usually together come out in victories. All right. Just because they haven't done so doesn't mean the Jets can go in there and just like clean clocks or just, I guess that's just really it. They just can't go in there and just like go all willy-nilly like we just did against the Bengals. They have to come out doing the same thing again if they want to win.
It did not willy-nilly nothing on the Bengals, They came out firing.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like they can't
go
in
there willy-nilly. We won the toss and we received. Bro. That was huge.
Yeah, we won. The strange part is that we received to begin. That I usually don't condone that. That's very weird. I usually get in the second. But hey, that's some stones to do that. I loved it. I think the Jets are going to come out and compete again. I think they will come out and compete again. I don't know if it'll be that close. I think I'm comfortable with the 10 points just because I think the film on Mike White is going to show his tendencies. And I think they're going to be looking for the short game. I think they're going to say, hey, let's see if this kid can push it down the field.
The Hall of Fame quarterbacks have bad tendencies?
Relax.
I didn't put him in the Hall of Fame. I'm just wearing the Hall of Fame t-shirt. They put him in the Hall of Fame.
But all I'm saying is that now that there's film on him, let's see if he can adjust. I think it's going to be close to the 10 points. I know you're thinking 4-7, right? That's what you said, 4-7.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking Jets money line, but that's a different story or a different day.
Yeah, I know you want them to cover. That'd be dope if they covered.
I think they're gonna win, dude. I think they can win this game. Win? I legitimate I'm not gonna invest in it. I'm not gonna take my money out of my savings account and run to Jersey to bet on WinBet. Which congrats to WinBet. They got the sports book out in New York too, which is cool. 9 sports books in New York. Just side bet, kind of cool. But I think the Jets could win this game, dude. Especially off a short week. The short week, honestly, this has never, but it has never been in more favor of the Jets in the history of especially a road team. There's never been this much in favor of the road team. The Tennessee Titans are coming off an overtime game. They have pressure on them, and the Jets are reeling off crazy momentum. There's no practice, and really the only big injuries, I think Bryce Huff is a pretty big injury that we could overcome, though. And the second is Corey Davis, which we did overcome.
Yes, I don't disagree with any of those points, but don't you think that because of that overtime loss that they're on edge right now, that you have to be looking at their division foe saying, oh my God, this is a chance. Tennessee Titans lost Derrick Henry. This is our chance to really like go on a run here, take down the Jets. Their number as of right now, they're second in the division. Titans are 6-2. So
it's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. But what else do we know about Thursdays, Alex? That players get hurt.
They're wonky. Yeah, I know they're wonky.
And they get
hurt. Yeah.
And now they're playing over an overtime game on Sunday. Like they are in literally the worst possible position in my opinion. And what you said, I agree, is motivation, but at the same time, it's pressure. They know they have to win this game. You know what I mean? And from my perspective, is there really pressure on Mike White? I mean,
no. Like I said, there's no pressure on this team at all.
Are the Jets even mad? Like internally, at the end of the day, are the Jets organization even mad? They're like, all right, fine.
First of all, if Mike White loses, the Jets organization is like, woo, we dodged a QB controversy.
Yeah, and if they win, we're ecstatic, obviously, because now we're smelling the playoff hunt. I don't want to get too crazy, but the schedule gets super easy after this week. We don't have to get into it now. But that's why this is a huge week, man. We get this third. Our resume looks pretty good too. Like if this was a fresh off a college playoff, stand drop where they just drop the arbitrary teams. Some teams are winless or above, undefeated teams are above teams with losses. All these things don't make sense. I feel like the Jets are going to have a nice resume if we beat the Titans, the Bengals, and the Colts. I mean, we're beating all the playoff teams. We'll just losing to the Pats every other week. That's fine. I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can see the Jets winning. I can definitely see the Jets winning. All your points are valid and very much true. I can definitely see the Jets coming out here, getting that victory. And because of, short week, Colts just came out of an overtime loss, right? This team doesn't seem to be gelling. They're 3-5. Conversely, they know that this is the chance to strike now because the Titans are now weak. They rely heavily on Derrick Henry. This is not a Ryan Tannehill, we can air it out type of team. Ryan Tannehill thrives in the play action. Ryan Tannehill thrives when he has a strong running game. It's not that anymore, okay? Even though we don't have to go into the whole tenure.
Someone doesn't believe in AP or McNichols over here.
Oh my God. Jeez. We're not doing this.
Okay.
We're not doing this.
We're not. This might be fine, but let's just worry about the Colts. Quentin Nelson, right? Jets Nation is very familiar with him. One guy that we were all talking about, the Sam Darnold year. He'll be going against us this week. That'll be fun to watch. I would say we got to watch Kwity Paye on that line, stopping the run. We got to watch out for Darius Leonard, as I've been saying for years. Just unbelievable linebacker. But dude, this is such a Berrios, Crowder, Cole game. I'm hyped, dude. I am actually really excited. I'm actually starting Mike White in one league, one of my fantasy leagues that nobody cares about because Aaron Rodgers has COVID. I don't know. I'm personally excited for this week, which absolutely means the Jets are going to get smoked because once I have any hope, once I have any excitement, the Jets jet it up, and they're going to jet it up in front of the whole world. I'm just hoping that for the first time in my life, that means we finally do something good.
Well, here's some good news for you, is that within the last 4 years, not 4 years, but the 4 matchups, it's gone back and forth between who wins. Last year the Colts won. The year before that was the Jets. The year before that was the Colts. The year before that, it was the Colts. So it was I'm sorry, Jets. What am I talking about? The last year was the Jets. Going nuts. So if history is being on our
Alex
side,
trend,
if history's on our side,
I like that trend. I also there's no way on planet Earth that Carson Wentz deserves to be a 10.5 point favorite. It just doesn't make any sense on the earth. So definitely take the Jets.
But it's not Carson Wentz. It's more of the fact that Mike White is an unknown. Like one game, he's
unknown.
Oh my God.
Could you read that for me, Alex? What does that say?
Let me pull out the binoculars. I think that says Hall of Fame on your shirt.
Damn right. I know it's a number 12 shirt, but there's a number 5 shirt in there now too. Damn it.
Oh my God. If I start seeing Mike White jerseys at an arena, you all are too wild.
If he wins this game, it's going to start becoming a conversation. But speaking of conversation, the latest conversation on the Twitter land, man, I got to get your take on this. Our owner, Woody Johnson, Steve Coing it up.
Oh God. I think it's going to be white shirt.
Okay. Just for the fans at home, our owner, Woody Johnson, tweeting a little teaser for tomorrow that the Jets are going to have a uniform combination. What do you say exactly? A uniform combination that's never been used before.
It's a new uniform combination. And if you've been a Jets fan, you know that these are the combinations we've all had before these new unis. It's either the all whites, the all greens, the green with the white pants, or the white with the green pants. That is what the tradition is. No. I'm saying before the new unis.
Oh,
before the new unis. Now we got the new unis. Tradition still, even with the new unis, has been green, all white, all black, or green top, white pants, white top, green pants.
Mm-hmm.
If he's talking about something new, that means it's involving black because it's never been done before. We've never used any. It's the other two combos have been cemented in history. Okay.
Yep.
Black has got to come in here some way. Michael Nania, our guy, did point out that the Colts are wearing blue tomorrow. And one team, according to NFL
Blue
rules,
and blue.
They're wearing blue and blue tomorrow?
Yeah, they're doing color rush, apparently. That's the rumor.
Good Lord. Anyway, don't do that to me. Please don't do that to me.
What do you mean color rush Thursdays? We're so back. I'm so ready for tomorrow. The Knicks are in this close game with the Pacers right now. We're about to get to the end of it.
I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing. I actually did like the Jets. Thursday night, bro. I did like the Jets color rush jerseys. I did like those Kelly greens. It was like a nice tradition to the throwback. Everyone else's in the league was trash. Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars, their mustard color, disgusting. Miami Dolphins, you look like creamsicles on the field. Whatever. The New Orleans Saints are the White Rangers. Please, never again can we have a color rush of the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. It's just Christmas on the field. Also, it's just not nice to colorblind people. Like, what are we?
Yeah, I was about to say. I remember that. They got shut down by the colorblind community.
Like, what are we doing? But no, it has to be black. So one team has to wear a white jersey. So if the Colts are going all blue, then we got to go all white. Unless you're saying if it is truly a color rush, then I wouldn't be surprised if they get to wear the black tops and like green. That would be a cool combo. You know what I mean? Black tops.
I think they're gonna go black and green.
Then I think if it's gonna be I think
black and green. I think black top jersey, green pants. I think is the move.
Oh my god, that'd be so fire.
Okay, I think that's the move. Okay.
That'd be so fire. But I think what's gonna happen is gonna be white tops, black pants.
That's so gross.
First of
gross. I hope that doesn't happen. First of all, we're gonna look gross. We're gonna look gross, and if we lose looking gross, it's gonna be terrible.
First of all, would that shock you with Woody Johnson at the helm?
Yes, because
really?
Actually, that would shock me because this is like the only thing we have going, man. We got to get these right. We got to get the look right. It's the one thing the Jets have. It's the aesthetics. Everything looks good on the outside.
You know what I think? I think they saw Michael Nania's tweet saying that we're undefeated in the black jerseys. I think they're trying to figure out if we can keep that black going.
Yeah, I honestly, I do think we're gonna wear a black top and the white bottom just looks so awkward. So I'm guessing green bottom. But anyway,
I think it'll be white top, black bottom. That's what I'm getting.
All right. We'll chalk that up as a little side bet between me and you. We'll see what happens there.
All right. But
just to end it off, let's end with some trade deadline talk because the Jets did make some moves, not moves that any of us talked about, especially not me and you. We discussed Crowder and Maye. And so right off the bat, let me ask you, I know what Joe Douglas said about it, which I'll get to, but how about you? What do you think about keeping Maye and Crowder on the squad?
Look, I told you when it came to, I was also a little excited now that I'm cooled down from, now that I've had cold showers, I'm cooled down from, I think it makes sense just to keep Jamison Crowder as, for a couple of reasons. And you point out to one of them. So I'm going to toss it up to you for this. You mentioned having a veteran wide receiver in the locker room. He does bring that aspect. Okay. So I think having that in the wide receiver film room, locker room, good aspect. I also think he's a good weapon overall for a growing quarterback, regardless who that is. If it's Wilson get comfortable with Crowder. If for some crazy odd reason Mike White is the savior and that's the guy,
because you have to be politically correct.
I have to, man, because here's the thing. If I start going out there saying Mike White's going to be our guy and I go cuckoo off the ledge, people are just not going to listen to this podcast. Everyone's going to be like, this is wild. These guys are like off their rockers taking some wild takes.
Yeah, no. Nobody's crazy on either, but I think the Zach Wilson versus Mike White stuff is just unsubstantiated because it really doesn't take into account the actual team making a difference. The team played different from the top to the bottom. We coach differently. We game plan differently. Our running backs played differently. Our linebackers showed up like literally and physically on the field. Like we played different. And honestly, we got lucky. That helmet to helmet that never gets called for us. that shouldn't have got called. Those 3 pick sixes, those all get taken back to the house if that's Zach Wilson or Mark Sanchez back there. You know what I mean? We got lucky. So that's we're not going overboard. We rewatched the game. We saw the tippy toe in. We saw Michael Carter, getting through some
Yeah,
holes. We got lucky, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got lucky. Even though he went crazy, we barely came out of that game with a W. He literally threw a Hall of Fame game, and we barely stuck out of there with a W. We needed a ref call. You know,
I'm not. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not discrediting the team. The team played like perfectly to a damn near perfect, I should say, not perfect, but damn near perfect. I think it's just when it comes to, because the team played perfectly, and Mike White then was not only one of the main reasons why they played well, but also a beneficiary, especially for all of the yak that Michael Carter, Jamison Crowder, everyone else was able to accumulate. It made his numbers look great. So,
and he threw the extra touchdown. I mean, like he still got it for Berrios, but he threw that thing to Cole.
He threw a dime. Nice. No, he was throwing really well. I feel like I just have to I think for me too, like I have to because I remember just being a Jets fan for so long. We've always rooted for that backup to come in. Like we found the solution.
Mind. Who comes to mind for you?
Bryce Petty.
Okay. Was that the guy you thought was going to do it? For me, I really thought it was going to be Kellen Clemens, man. I remember the Dallas game.
I thought he was going to come in for Geno, and it's like, because he showed that he had some arm strength, that he could get it down the field. I was like, all right, this guy got it. He had a good career at Baylor. You're like, this could be the guy. Greg McElroy is another one because they had the whole. I think it's the storylines that everyone connects when you're reading everything, right? It's like Bama. Greg McElroy. Oh, Bama, last guy to come.
Yeah, he was one of the best college quarterbacks.
He was, and also I know. But then you also hear about his Wonderlic, and you hear like how smart he is, and you're like, oh, okay, I can see this. But then you watch him play, you're like, ain't that guy. And then Bryce Petty, you watch him play, you're like, ain't that guy. And so, and even when Geno Smith came in, because he was a backup to Sanchez for that 1 year, and you're like, could something happen? Not saying Geno was going to be the answer, but he came in, went 8-8 that season. You're like, all right, this is something to work off of. And then it was just not that, because the following season, oh, what a beautiful season that we should have beaten the Packers game 1.
Yeah. Tough. Okay. Yeah. So I agree with you. Like the Crowder thing, I'm okay with him staying in there for the veteran stuff. And to be honest with you, bro, for Maye, like, it's the same idea, bro, because Ashton Davis is whack. Like if Marcus Maye's not there, we give up. It's over. Michael Pittman's getting 3 touchdowns this game. You know what I'm trying to say? And
for sure.
And now I think that we're gonna be able to double him with Ashton Davis. You know what I'm saying? You just guard Pittman, bro. You just double him. And then like Marcus Maye will take care of the rest of the field. And I think we could. That's how I think we could actually game plan to win with Crowder. Being a veteran and getting those, huge catches that we need on third down. And then we have Marcus Maye in there so that we could kind of let Ashton Davis double up. I'm not too mad. I'm not too mad at the trade, man. And I'm not mad. I have one interesting take. And I it's not going to be Crowder because I think Crowder.
Did you mention who we traded for?
No, not yet. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But I have one interesting take, and I don't think Crowder is going to come back to the Jets next year. He seems to me like one of those guys that gets that 1 year or 2 years on like a nice team, like maybe the Rams or something. Hopefully, Super Bowl bound team. He deserves that. A la Jericho Cotcher, I'll like miss him like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. No, actually, that's a really good, not a good comp like player wise, but that's like a really good like comp, like veteran, quiet dude, locker room presence. Definitely in that same stratosphere as Jaco.
Yeah. So I think as Jets fans, especially you and I, we're going to be hyped for him. And I think he's gone. And I think we're going to make some moves in the offseason. So we're not going to be able to get a comp pick, for any of these guys. And so when it comes to Marcus Maye, we could, we all know about all the tension, right? Between, the agent doing stuff and now Marcus Maye kind of like backtracking it a little bit and his agent backtracking it also a little bit, if you took notice on Twitter. So I wonder what the Jets are thinking after that DUI that was hidden, especially after what, happened to Ruggs. Definitely a different situation, right? But at least one of the elements was the same. There was a drunk driver, you know what I mean? And he hid it from the team, which, I'm sure is not really a mitigating circumstance for, the Jets. And I wonder if he goes out and he shops the market. And if it comes to that, if he can't find that number and he comes back to the Jets, or, they do a little underground shopping while they're talking about the franchise tag and he can't really find that 35 million because he's going to be suspended at least 1 or 2 games to begin the year to be, already. So now you're paying a safety, that 15 million, whatever, for minus 2 games, or I don't know. Maybe he can't find that. So I'm wondering, dude, if at the end of the day, we end up franchising him for another year. And it's almost to his benefit because of this mess up.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that's very likely at this point. He's going to get franchise tagged again.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
Which
what a turn of events.
Yeah, no. But before I go on to that, first of all, thoughts and prayers to the family members of the victim of the Henry Ruggs DUI, man, the dog, the family. That's just such a terrible situation. So terrible.
The video of him sitting there next to the burning car was one of the saddest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it sucks.
That's a mental injury you probably can never get over. Forget everything else.
Yeah, for sure. And Henry Ruggs should have known better, but I feel bad for him because, dude, he's a young guy. You know what I mean? When you're young, you make a lot of stupid mistakes, but to do something like that and have to live with that image and knowing that you killed somebody, I feel bad for him.
The whole thing's tough.
Because
the whole thing's tough.
It's not like he was going out there wanting to hurt somebody. That was just that's just the cause of his action. So
he's gonna be a free man in a couple of years. I mean, we'll see what happens, but he's gonna be walking. He's gonna be fine at the end of the day. But I don't know if he's actually ever gonna be the same.
He's not gonna be.
That's
fine,
a different story.
You mentally you can't be fine after. That's wild. That's insane. And for anyone who doesn't know, he was clocked at 156 speeding with doubled, close to triple the alcohol limit for driving, getting behind the wheel. So just a terrible situation. But getting back on track to Marcus Maye and his DUI, which, by the way, this is just a public thing. All right, guys, you are wealthy. Go get enough.
Dude, forget wealthy. Don't even. I'm going to cut you off.
It's not money.
The NFL has a literal program. No matter where you are, if you're an NFL player, they will give you a car service at any time of the day. You don't even need $1.
And that's the thing. You can do an Uber. You can use a car service. Just don't do it. Drinking and driving, dumbest shit possible. Don't do it.
Your literal job gives you a car.
It makes no sense. Literally makes no sense. Anyway, getting back to the Marcus Maye, because of his hidden DUI, I could see you make a lot of valid points once again, saying, hey, you go to another team, you're missing some games. Your contract value is going to dwindle because you're not going to be playing that many games. And someone who sees that, it's kind of like the Robbie Anderson situation that we had, right?
Yep.
It's can we really trust you? Can we give you that long-term contract? So this is the reason why you start seeing someone backtrack saying, oh, we're cool, man. I didn't know what happened. Yeah, everything's all right.
Maybe I don't want to give you 35 million guaranteed for a safety. I can't really bring that back to my boss. You know what I mean? The general manager has to bring that up to his boss. This guy's worth 35 million, bro. What?
And then your boss is like, how's his record? Is it clean? And he's like, well, he hit a DUI.
How old is he?
Marcus Maye?
No, yeah, but I'm saying that. I feel if I'm the owner, I'm asking those questions. You know what I mean? He's slightly older for a rookie when we drafted him.
He's an adult.
He's got a DUI. He's on the Jets. You know what I mean? All these things look bad.
Yeah, you can't be a 28-year-old hiding stuff like that.
Anyway, I love Marcus Maye. I don't want to get that twisted. I really do love him.
Absolutely.
I don't like his agent, but I love Marcus Maye. I hope he stays with the team, and I do hope we get him on the franchise. Or honestly, I hope he signs to a long-term deal. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. I just don't want it at his crazy number.
Yeah, I get that. I'd rather have him for a long-time deal than doing another franchise tag, because I feel like that just another franchise tag, then it's just rough, man. Because I feel like you're also hurting his career at that point. He'll be 29. You're talking about 30. He's got 2, maybe max 3 more years of his prime.
Yeah,
I just will go. I'm a player guy. I also want them to make their money as well.
Me too, especially a Marcus Maye guy. He's been there through it all.
Yeah, not like they're not making a lot of money. It's just
that he's even got a second contract.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been there through the tough times, man. I want to reward those guys.
Yeah, you have to, man. You have to reward those guys. The guys who've been here when we've not only sucked, but still suck and going through another rebuild. You gotta reward some of those guys.
But speaking of the Jets, Joe Douglas, and moves that we did make one move, and we got rid of our 4th, 5th string tight end now, Dan Brown.
Yep.
For Laurent Duvernay-Tardif.
Nice pronunciation.
The right guard from Montreal. Also better known as the right guard from the Kansas City Chiefs for that Super Bowl run. He was their starter for the last couple of years. The only reason you haven't heard of him is because he was one of the first NFL players to opt out for COVID-19. And that was because he's a doctor and he went to go do doctor things, which makes him automatically the man. The fact that this guy's a doctor and he's also a guard is amazing. He won the Super Bowl. Now,
you're a doctor. You won the Super Bowl on like one of the best teams played with Pat Mahomes. What life is this?
This guy's killing it, man. This guy's living the actual dream. But when he's gone, his former employer drafts a late draft pick, Trey Smith, and now he lost his job, man. He hurt his hand. He just came back. He was activated first game last week, didn't play at all. And the Jets grabbed him. It's an interesting. He's not active today versus the Colts, but I'm looking forward to him with that mini bye week coming up. Man, we have an easy schedule, a new right guard. We just got to get this one game, man. Just got to get this one game, bro. Please, just give me this one game, Alex. I just need it. I need this one. You know that? You know my meme from last week, the Will Ferrell. Please, sweet baby Jesus, like this. Please give me this win. Please, just give me this Thursday night win.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet. And then getting an upgrade at right guard coming in, that'd be pretty dope. Not gonna lie. So looks like someone's on the way out. We won't have to mention that person's name, but I do want to note this because we are both first generation and the children of immigrant parents. Can you imagine the disdain if like the sibling? It's like, and what did your eldest child do? Oh, they became a doctor, became a NFL pro, and won a Super Bowl. Oh, what did this child do? Failure.
Makes podcasts.
Got a law degree.
Become a lawyer.
Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Lawyer/podcaster. Loser.
Exactly.
Doesn't wear his John Starks jersey and sees John Starks. Absolute loser.
My goodness gracious.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man. But I think on that note, I think that's a good place. A lot of news for the Jets, man, this week. In such a short week, there's a lot going on. So let's hope that the Jets get a win tonight against the Indianapolis Colts. Our long noted foes from Super Bowl III, man. Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
And
fun fact for you, even though we for the most part have losing records against everybody. Record against the Indianapolis Colts: 43 Colts, 32 Jets.
Hell
so
yeah!
What's
I love beating the Colts. One of my favorite pastimes. Probably my only favorite pastime.
We got 32 wins against the Colts. That's impressive, man. That's good. That's good stuff.
The one that really hurts is the one that stopped us from going to Super Bowl. But no bad vibes.
No bad vibes, man. No bad vibes. On that note, I think this is
Knicks
a good
down
place
by
to
5
end it.
going into the fourth. Let's go.
Yeah, man. We got this. We got this on all accounts. All right. If both of our teams are playing in Indy.
That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to you, Blau Powell. Shout out to you for being there.
I want the Indy sweep.
Yeah, man, that'd be pretty nice. Look at that. Now it's a 4-point. Now it's a 4-point lead.
Let's go.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up because we got to catch this fourth quarter game between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knickerbockers. So
you guys are in the future though. You already know the Knicks won.
Yes, sir. But thank you for everyone tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. Please make sure to give this podcast a 5-star review if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts. And if you don't, it is okay. We're on Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it, we are there. On top of that, we're also on the YouTube. So if you're watching it on YouTube, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell. All right. Last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we are there. All right, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow for a Jets actually live rapid reaction. So should have noted that at the top of the key. But we will be going live tomorrow after the Jets game. So come join us on YouTube if you want to go get to pick our brains, watch the raw emotion of whatever happens tonight. Be a good time.
Hell yeah. Let's go Jets, baby. Let's go Jets.